So against my better judgment, I watched the fight this weekend. The Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, and it ended up just as horrible as I thought it was going to be. Trash, trash, double trash. That fight was the worst thing that I've seen on TV since the Evander Holyfield fight. Mike Tyson did not throw one single uppercut. Now, let's think about it. Back in the day, what was Mike Tyson's signature punch? The uppercut. Apparently, there was a contract that they said leaked, a fight contract or fight script or something of the sorts, where it stated in the contract, quote unquote, I don't know if it's real, I don't know if it's fake, I don't know any of that, that Mike Tyson could not throw any uppercuts. We didn't see one Mike Tyson uppercut. And what is Mike Tyson's signature combination? Rip the body, boom, uppercut. Rip the body, uppercut. We didn't see one single uppercut. Not seeing an uppercut from Mike Tyson is like listening to a Maze and Frankie Beverly Greatest Hits CD and not hearing Before I Let Go. If y'all don't know who that is, research it, look it up. Shameless plug for them. Rest in peace to the great Frankie Beverly. However, not seeing Mike Tyson throw one single uppercut let me know that that wasn't even a real fight. Shame on the sanctioning bodies for letting this crap happen in the first place. Shame on the sanctioning bodies who allowed it. The integrity of boxing has been compromised. Because clowns like Jake Paul can come in and do this. 27 years old, fighting a 58-year-old legend. 31 years his senior. When did that even become acceptable? I don't care if it was an exhibition. That could have been a lot worse than what it actually was, and it was trash. Seeing Mike Tyson do that was very disheartening. Mike Tyson is arguably one of the scariest human beings walking this planet when it comes to combat sports. He's even scary to a lot of people on his podcast when he's talking to them. They're really careful about what they say to Mike, because at any given moment, Mike could turn to Mike. You look at that fight, you've seen an older Mike with bad legs, with hesitance. He hit Jake Paul one time, and I believe it was a hook, and Jake flew off into the corner of the ring, and it's like he pulled it back in. That ferocious Mike that we knew, that we all grew up, my age range, and a little older, that we grew up seeing was not the Mike that we seen this past Saturday. I'm surprised they didn't pull the plug when they seen Mike doing the ring walk. That was a sad ring walk, man. What are we allowing when we let people like Jake Paul come in here and desecrate our legends, our inactive legends? Make that man fight somebody. Make that man do something. He only fought one active boxer, which is Tommy Fury, and lost that fight. He knows what he's doing. We're watching the power of manipulation in boxing. We're watching the power of manipulation, the fact that boxing can be sold, which boxing has always been a dirty game anyway. We'll get into that in another video. But the fact that boxing can be sold to an individual like that. The integrity is out of there. The other fights were great. You know, you had real fighters. You had the Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano fight. Robbery to the first degree robbery, right? Serrano had to fight Katie Taylor's fist and her head. And credit, the greatest credit goes to Amanda Serrano for going out there and continuing on that fight with that nasty cut. She says she's a Boricua, she's going to finish this fight no matter what. And she landed 100 more punches. Her connect percentage was 44%, Katie Taylor's was 41%, and they still gave Katie Taylor the fight. Extreme robbery. But back to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul situation. Jake Paul exposed a loophole in the business of boxing. A lot of y'all want to blame Floyd for people avoiding certain fights and going after money, but Jake Paul, what Jake Paul did, even though I don't respect him as a boxer, was exploit all sanctioning bodies of boxing and exploit the business of boxing. because he already had a brand. He already had millions of followers. He had people that they knew would come and spend money to watch that trash and watch his trash fights. And what did he do? He wiggled his way right in the game, past all the amateurs that are out here getting the correct pedigree, past the Olympians that are out here getting the correct pedigree, past everybody. He skipped straight to the front of the line and exposed that boxing can be bought. The fact that all those individuals were there, every single one of them. You had Andre Ward there. You had Roy Jones Jr. there. It was star-studded. Even though they came to see Mike Tyson, the fact that that organization could be put together, that they could be in the same ring, shows you the integrity of the sport of boxing. There is none. There is no integrity in the sport of boxing to let a 58-year-old man go out there and fight a 27-year-old man. And fight them under restrictions, high-level restrictions. Let Mike put on some 10s. Let Mike throw his uppercuts. Let Mike throw his shots. Mike was trigger shy the entire time. There were plenty of opportunities where Mike could have sat him down. And a lot of you individuals out there know so little about boxing that you guys were comparing Mike's pad work with his trainer to what he could actually perform in the ring. Pad work is not boxing. Pad work is not boxing. Okay, I'll shoot another video on this later on explaining it in detail more, but listen, pad work isn't boxing. That's why I personally don't do one-on-one pad work boxing with anybody, because pad work is a synchronized routine. I'm going to go into it, but sorry. If I'm sitting here with a pair of pads on my hands working with one of my fighters, I am purposely going to meet my fighter at some point in time with my pad so they don't hyperextend their elbow and they don't hurt their shoulder. We're going to meet. So it's a synchronized routine. So if they're throwing a 1, 2, 3, I'm going to meet them on the 1, meet them on the 2, meet them on the 3, meet them on the 4. We already know what's going on here. It's synchronized. So yes, all of these killer videos that you all see with pad work online are synchronized routines. I've seen it happen far too many times when people walk through this door, come in here and think that because they had a little bit of pad work, that when I put a person in front of them, they're going to wash them out. And they get their asses knocked out clean or get embarrassed and walk out that door and they're done. Boxing is when you have another individual in front of you and you have a myriad of 14 to 16 punches to manipulate to try to pull apart this opponent that's in front of you. Pad work ain't it. Pad work works on your fluency of combinations, your reaction timing at certain points, and some endurance. Other than that, it is not boxing. So individuals who walk in gyms and think that pad work is the beginning, the alpha and the omega of boxing, usually go out here in these streets and get cleaned up. They go right down to the gas station or right down to the club or to the bar, get cleaned up real hard and can't figure out why. Because it is a routine. Your coach meets you on purpose with the pads. They told you what to throw. So comparing pad work to what somebody can do in the ring is one of the biggest flaws in boxing. Stop it. Pad work ain't boxing. Okay? So comparing what Mike was doing outside the ring with his trainer to what he could actually convert to in the ring against an opponent is an unfair comparison. And we're looking at highlights. The videos on IG and YouTube and Facebook, all the Meta and Twitter and everything, those are highlight clips put together. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall sitting in Mike Tyson's training for that hour or two to see how he moved around then. Shame on the trainers for letting it happen. Shame on the trainers. The only man who could control Mike and give him the honest opinion, unfortunately, is not here now. And that's Cus D'Amato. Everybody else was too scared to tell Mike, hey man, look, this is not it. Or maybe Mike only listened to Cus and won't listen to these other individuals around him. But this is what happens when you're surrounded by yes men. Like I said, Mike is one of the scariest men on the planet, right? So when you're surrounded by yes men, who's going to tell you no? Who's going to tap you on your shoulder and let you know, hey, this is out of pocket, man. No, don't do that. Or we're not going to let you do this. Nah, no. No, we're not going to let you do this. Who's going to do that to Mike Tyson? You got yes men around you. You got people who are scared to say things to you and to let you know the truth. It didn't make the whole fight didn't make any sense. It was a sham. I opted not to watch it. People kept texting me, asking, am I watching it? Am I watching it? Am I watching it? And I'm sitting there next to my wife, and she's like, you might as well watch it. There's nothing you can do about it. The fight is going to happen anyway. And I was already watching the other fights anyway. You know, the Barrios fight and the Serrano-Taylor fight, I was watching those anyway. So I went on and watched the Shambles show. Mike couldn't get any shots off. It's like he wasn't going to even try to punch, and his range wasn't there, his reach wasn't there. And it was just, it's terrible overall. You know, the fact that Jake Paul bought that win. I'll call it what it is. He bought the win. $40 million in Paul's favor, $20 million in Tyson's favor. And they said Tyson had a lot of blood transfusions and surgeries recently or whatever. So maybe he took the fight for the money. Who knows, man? Who knows? I just wish that it didn't go that way. Mike Tyson already has one of the best podcasts out there, the Hot Box Podcast. Why not just keep that going? You know, maybe he was in a dire situation with money or whatnot. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. But to desecrate the history, the current history of a current living legend is disgusting. And the fact that we allowed it, not even we allowed it, like we're just at the bottom of the totem. We're the consumers, the people who organized it, the sanctioning bodies, the people who said, yes, we could, let's make this happen. At the risk of this older man being hurt very bad. And you could even tell Jake Paul didn't even want to hit the man like that. He didn't want to throw any nasty shots. Nobody was really boxing and throwing any nasty shots. It was a disgusting situation overall, and I'm not impressed with it. That's my 2 cents on, you know, the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. I hope I never see a fight with a legend that old and an up-and-comer that young again. If this was tolerable, why aren't the people who are actual real boxers who are coming up through the ranks correctly, why didn't they ever call out a legend, an old school legend? Why didn't they call out Shannon Briggs or Lennox Lewis or anybody like that? You never heard Anthony Joshua mention any of those guys. You never heard Jared Anderson mention Klitschko. You're not hearing any of these current light heavies or 168s calling out Andre Ward. You respect the retired individuals overall, especially when the age gap is that huge. Disgusting. I was disgusted by it. I was disgusted that it actually happened. If you go back and look at my past social media, my past YouTube videos, I was disgusted at it. Still am. Still completely disgusted that when you look at Jake Paul's record now, he's going to have a win over Mike Tyson. That's going to be his bragging right. He bought that. He bought that. He bought that fight and he bought that record. Sad, man. We got to stop this stuff from happening. All right. Listen, if you like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you guys think of that fight. Did you like it? I mean, maybe you liked it. I hated it. Maybe you liked it. Maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe you look forward to more Jake Paul fights or whatever. Maybe you're a Jake Paul fan or whatever. You know, and by your right, you most likely are, you know, or more certainly are welcome to do so. I'm not. You know, you guys do whatever it is you want to do. Maybe you like it. Maybe you want to see him fight some more people. So who you have for him next? I don't. I'm not a fan at all until he starts fighting boxers that are either on his range as far as, what is he, 7, 8 fights or something like that, or whatever the case is, within that range, like real competitive boxers, active boxers. I'm not going to consider that man a boxing competitor. You're fighting washed up MMA legends. You're fighting washed up football legends. You're fighting a legend 31 years your senior who you knew could not compete. Or if he went Mike Tyson on your Iron Mike, he would have pancaked you. We got to stop this stuff from happening. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. And I got more content coming soon. Thank you.